Welcome back to Money Talk Sports. I'm your host, Jonathan Laurent. If this is your first time, make sure you like, subscribe, and share with a friend. We really appreciate it. Alright, today we want to get into a big topic that's going on in sports. As you all know, last week was the deadline. Dallas Cowboys, they actually missed the opportunity. It was that Prescott, he was a free agent, actually, and he was on the franchise tag. So he had signed the franchise tag, and Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones had the opportunity to make sure whether or not they were going to give him a long-term contract or whether or not he was going to play 1 year on the franchise tag. And of course, the deadline came and passed. Okay, now what's so shocking to me is everything that went on. I pretty much sat back and listened to a lot of people come in and talk about what their thoughts are on Dak Prescott, okay? And pretty much a lot of people, there's a lot of different opinions, okay? And I'm not here to talk about one individual person or anything like that. This is nothing personal. This is everything to do with Dak, okay? And whether or not he deserved that contract, whether or not he deserved a long-term contract, okay? Now, everyone knows, it's been leaked, okay, as far as it's been reported, on what the amount of the contract on one side, okay? So some people say that there was sources reported that there was a contract on the table for 5 years, 110 million guaranteed. Actually, 110 million and 50 million I heard guaranteed at signing. Okay, that's what was reported. Okay, but what's so crazy to me? I wanted to get out. I wanted to come out and really talk about not only just Dak Prescott, but whether or not Dak Prescott, and where is he ranked in comparison to some of the great quarterbacks that actually played before him and some of the quarterbacks that's playing right now. Okay, so now I was actually watching Undisputed. This was actually about a couple of months ago, about probably in March. Okay, March or April, and I heard Shannon Sharpe and Skip was actually arguing the point on whether or not Dak Prescott was worth $40+ billion. Okay, now, and what's interesting to me is because Shannon Sharpe, of course, is in favor of Dak Prescott getting his money, getting a long-term deal. And one of the key facts that Shannon Sharpe stated, he stated that if Dak Prescott is actually on a Hall of Fame arc, which is a Hall of Fame projection, how his numbers compare to some of the greats that played before him. If his numbers, his projection, his potential, okay, would he be worth the $42 billion? And Shannon Sharpe said, yes, he would. He said, if his numbers, in comparison to some of the greats, some of the Hall of Fame that ever played before him, then he would agree that Dak Prescott would worth $40+ billion. Okay, now, I compiled a list, okay, some of the greatest quarterbacks that ever played the game. Okay, so I compiled a list, okay, and when I decided to embark on this journey, okay, I didn't have any quarterbacks in mind. I didn't say, but I said, okay, I've been watching Dak play, okay, and I've been watching some greats, but I said, you know what? Let's just put some big names out there. Let's put some historic names and see how Dak fares against some of the greatest quarterbacks that ever played the game. Okay? Now, before we actually get into it, okay, and what really sparked this conversation was this week, right? If you all noticed, last week was the deadline, okay? And what was so interesting about this week, okay, because everybody knows that Jimmy Johnson is pretty much, he loves the Dallas Cowboys, but opposes Jerry Jones. And any time that Jimmy Johnson have an opportunity to really stick it to Jerry Jones, he do. He do. He makes sure that he come out the woodlocks, out the woodworks, and wherever he's at, because you know he's living down there in the Keys. You really don't hear much about Jimmy Johnson unless he's actually doing Fox Sports Sundays. Of course, the time of the Super Bowls, you know, usually that's the time where you hear from Jimmy Johnson. Now, keep in mind, Jimmy Johnson, okay, reference here is a coach who not only built one, but built two dynasties in his lifetime. He built a dynasty with the University of Miami Hurricanes, okay, and he built the dynasty with the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s, okay. Now, and what's so fascinating, because he came on Colin's show this past week, okay, The Herd, okay, and they had a discussion, okay, because Colin Cowherd, he stated that Dak Prescott to him is a good, not great quarterback, and he don't agree with getting a good quarterback great money, okay, and he asked Jimmy Johnson, what was his opinion? Did he think that Dak was a good quarterback or a great quarterback? And Jimmy Johnson stated that he was actually shocked to see that this situation was a tragedy. He said, a question Colin Cowherd asked him whether or not he ever experienced a person where that they were so great or they were so good that they didn't get a deal done. And Jimmy Johnson stated that this situation was tragic. That Dallas Cowboys didn't get a long-term deal done with Dak Prescott. He said this was a tragic situation. Jimmy Johnson said it was a tragic situation that the Dallas Cowboys failed to get a deal done. Okay? Now, he then went on to say that Dak Prescott was a very good quarterback. Okay? He said Dak Prescott has great leadership tangibility. And he said he was a great person. But he said he was a very, not very good. He didn't say he was very good. He said he was very, very good quarterback. Okay, so let's put that in perspective. Okay, because he didn't say he was good. He didn't say he was very good. He said he was very, very good quarterback. Okay, all right. And the reason why did I bring that up? Okay, because so many people actually come up, and I heard, and I want to bring this in. I want to bring this in perspective. Okay, because Terry Bradshaw also went on Colin's show last week. Colin Cowherd, The Herd. Okay, and Colin asked him whether or not he thinks he was a good quarterback, and Terry Bradshaw, this was his words, said Dak Prescott is not worth $35 million. Okay, so my thing is, the reason why I wanted to talk about this and discuss this, have this conversation, okay, is because what requirements, what are you using, what are you basing that on to be Terry Bradshaw to say flat out he's not worth $35 million? What are you basing it on? Okay, so I wanted to do an analysis. So I took some of the biggest names, and I'm coming out. This is the names, okay? So I took Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Phillip Rivers, Brett Favre, Andrew Luck, and Drew Bledsoe. Okay, so I took these quarterbacks. So these 7 quarterbacks, I took the first 4 years of their career in the NFL, and how did they fare against Dak Prescott in the tenure of his 4 years in the NFL. Okay, so I wanted to, because if you're gonna base it, on assumption. We're not going to base it on assumption. We're going to base it. How is Todd Franks doing it? How is Todd Franks doing it? What determines a Hall of Fame arc? Okay? Because when we're looking at Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Brett Favre, Phillip Rivers, we're looking at quarterbacks that's either in the Hall of Fame or potentially going to be in the Hall of Fame. Okay? Now, Drew Bledsoe is on here. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's been to 2 Super Bowls where he won one and lost one. Okay? And he's in the Patriots Hall of Fame. He's in the Patriots. So Drew Bledsoe is in the Patriots Hall of Fame. Okay? Now, Andrew Luck, when he first came out of college, a lot of people, they talked about Andrew Luck. I remember he went to Stanford, and everyone said he's the next John Elway. The way that he throws the ball, the way that he runs, his potential, they felt like his future was bright. And his future absolutely was startling. He got off to a startling head start from the day that he touched down until that he retired after 7 seasons. Okay? So, now, what I wanted to do, as I mentioned, I took these 7 quarterbacks and to see, I wanted to see. So, in comparison, their first 4 years in the NFL, in the National Football League, versus Dak Prescott first 4 years, and see who had better numbers. Who had better numbers? Okay? So, Peyton Manning, I wanted to take a look at the passing yards. Okay? The passing yards. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to go with who's out of Peyton Manning in the first 4 years had 16,418 passing yards. Okay? Now, the next person on that list with the highest passing yards is Andrew Luck at 14,838. All right? Andrew Luck, 14,838 passing yards. Okay? Now, the next person on that list was Drew Bledsoe with 14,642 passing yards. Okay? So now, right now, and then I'm going to give you the lowest. Okay? So I'm going to put up the screen, so I'm actually showing you the passing yards of every quarterback that's on this list. But the lowest came Phillip Rivers in the first 4 years of his career. Had 6,688 passing yards. Okay? So now, and you're thinking, okay, well, Andrew Luck was second. No. Dak Prescott actually came higher than Andrew Luck in passing yards in the first 4 years at 15,778 passing yards. Now, also keep in mind, Dak was in a primarily run type offense where the offense was focused primarily on running the ball. And in 4 years, he amassed 15,778 passing yards, which put him second right below Peyton Manning. So, above Andrew Luck, above Drew Bledsoe, above Phillip Rivers, above Brett Favre, above Aaron Rodgers, above Drew Brees, Dak Prescott was number 2. Okay? And I know y'all like, okay, that's passing yards. Okay? So the next topic I wanted to talk about, I wanted to go, okay, let's see. First 4 years. I'm going to go to passer ratings. Okay? So in the first 4 years, the person who had the highest, not including Dak Prescott, not as of yet, Peyton Manning, in the first 4 years, passer rating was 85.18%, which is great in the first 4 years. Number two, actually, I'm sorry. Drew Brees was number one in the first 4 years at 86%. Okay, so Drew Brees was number one at 86% passer rating for the first 4 years. Peyton Manning came in number two at 85.18% in the first 4 years. Okay, and I'm gonna put the list right here, so you're gonna see the passer rating for all these Hall of Fame type quarterbacks and where Dak Prescott ranked against all these quarterbacks. Okay, so in the passer rating, Dak Prescott came higher than these 7 quarterbacks that I named. Higher than Peyton Manning, higher than Drew Brees, higher than Aaron Rodgers, higher than Brett Favre, higher than Phillip Rivers, higher than Andrew Luck, Andrew Bledsoe. Dak Prescott passer rating for the first 4 years is 97%. Passer rating. So passer rating, that encompasses of course, the touchdowns, incompletion, take in your completion percentage. Passer rating takes in the whole, pretty much everything that for a quarterback. That's the stat that they're looking at. Okay. So next, I understand everybody say, okay, that's just a passing rating, but what about completion percentage? Because I hear a lot of commentators, a lot of analysts, especially when you have new players coming in the league, they talk about what are their completion percentage. Okay? The attempts, but how many, what are they actually completing? Okay? So, in the first 4 years, okay, and I'm gonna actually talk about it right now. Okay, so Brett Favre in this category, in his first 4 years that he played in NFL, his completion percentage was 62.47%. You do the numbers, but Brett Favre's completion percentage in the first 4 years, 62.47%. Okay, so you go down to Peyton Manning. In the first 4 years, Peyton Manning completion percentage was 61% in the first 4 years. Aaron Rodgers, a lot of people love Aaron Rodgers. They say, man, he's a big bad man. Aaron Rodgers' completion percentage was 57.83% in his first 4 years that he played as an NFL player. Okay? And Dak Prescott led every single quarterback that I just mentioned at 65.8% completion percentage. Led Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Andrew Luck. Dak Prescott led them all in completion percentage at 65.8% for the first 4 years that he played in the NFL. Okay? Now, and I know y'all looking at those stats and you say, okay, well, how does that stat, what does that do for winning? Okay, how does that impact the team? The win-loss ratio. Okay? How does that impact? How does that account for winning? Okay? So, in the first 4 years, I wanted to come to that. Okay? So, in the Peyton Manning, in the first 4 years, had 32 wins and 32 losses. 500 record in the first 4 years. Okay? Now we're going to go to Drew Brees. Drew Brees in the first 4 years had 24 wins and 24 losses as a starter. He's playing in the NFL in the first 4 years. Okay? Now, we talk about Aaron Rodgers, the big bad man. In the first 4 years, his win-loss was 6 wins and 10 losses as a starter. Okay? Now, and Brett Farve actually in this field right here. Okay? So Brett Farve had 45 wins and 26 losses. Okay? Andrew Luck came in at 35 wins and 20 losses for the first 4 years of his career. And Dak Prescott came in at 40 wins and 24 losses. 40 wins, 24 losses in the first 4 years. 16 games over 500. So 16 games over 500. Dak Prescott came in at 40 wins and 24 losses the first 4 years of his career. All right, so I understand. A lot of people, they're talking and they're stating, well, hey, okay, that's just win-losses. What about touchdowns? What about stats? Okay, what about the long ball? Who's getting more touchdowns? Touchdown versus interceptions. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Now, right here, Peyton Manning had a good record here. In the first 4 years, Peyton Manning had 111 touchdowns versus 81 interceptions. Okay? So, 111 touchdowns, 81 interceptions for the first 4 years. Peyton Manning. Okay? So, I'm going to go to Drew Brees. Drew Brees had 56 touchdowns and 38 losses. No, 38 interceptions. 56 touchdowns, 38 interceptions. First 4 years of his career. Okay? Now, we're going to go to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers had 29 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. Okay? So you say, okay, well, how about Brett Farve? Brett Farve had 70 touchdowns and 51 interceptions. And as you all know, Brett Farve in the Hall of Fame, at the end of his career, led the league in fumbles and interceptions. Brett Farve. Okay? But he is one of the greatest. One of the greatest that ever played the game. Okay? And then so, I'm going to go to Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck had 101 touchdowns and 55 interceptions in the first 4 years of his career. Okay? And then we're going to go to Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott had 97 touchdowns. 97 touchdowns and 36 interceptions. That's astronomical. That's an astonishing number. Touchdowns versus interceptions. Dak Prescott, 97 touchdowns, 36 interceptions. Okay? In the first 4 years of his career. All right? Now, and as you well know, because it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there. Because Dak Prescott, not only that he was a very good passer, great passer, according to these numbers, but he rushed as well. Rushing is not a number that you usually affiliate when it comes to a quarterback. But Dak Prescott, that's what shows his true value. Okay, so I'm going to do rushing in the first 4 years of their career. Okay, so we all knew Peyton Manning was not a big rusher. So in the first 4 years, Peyton Manning rushed for 408 yards, and he had seven rushing touchdowns. Peyton Manning. Okay. Now Aaron Rodgers, we all know Aaron Rodgers loved to scramble. He came in at 254 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. 4 rushing touchdowns in the first 4 years of his career. Okay? So, now Brett Favre in this category here, he had 616 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns in the first 4 years of his career. Okay? And Andrew Luck, he was a pretty good runner in the first 4 years of his career. He had 1,101 rushing yards and 12 rushing touchdowns in the first 4 years of his career. Andrew Luck. Okay? And Dak Prescott came in at 1,221 rushing yards and 21 rushing touchdowns in the first 4 years of his career. Okay? So, Dak Prescott, rushing yards, rushing touchdowns. He led Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, Phillip Rivers, Drew Bledsoe, and Andrew Luck. Passer rating, he led them all. Completion percentage, he led them all. In the first 4 years of his career. Touchdown interception ratio. Dak Prescott had the best ratio, touchdown interception ratio, out of the Pantheon great quarterbacks. And Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Phillip Rivers, Brett Favre. Dak Prescott had the best touchdown to interception ratio. He had 97 touchdowns and 36 interceptions in the first 4 years of his career. And that's not even including the rushing touchdown, the 21 rushing touchdown that he had. Okay, so I just wanted to come out today, okay, because where's this arc? Where's everybody? Everybody's talking about, okay, if he on a Hall of Fame arc, Shannon Sharp said it, then he is worth $40+ million. Peyton Manning, Hall of Fame. Drew Brees, future Hall of Famer. Aaron Rodgers, future Hall of Famer. Brett Favre, Hall of Fame. Phillip Rivers is a discussion on whether or not he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, but a lot of people are saying that he's a Hall of Famer, a future Hall of Famer. Andrew Luck was definitely a quarterback that a lot of people considered was going to be one of the greatest quarterbacks to play the game. And Dak Prescott had better numbers in most situations than all these quarterbacks. Okay? So, I want to thank everybody who's watching today. If this is your first time, make sure you like, comment, share it with a friend. Money Talk Sports. We appreciate you.
I'm gonna run out if you don't really wanna, don't you? A fucking road runner. Got a stick with a whole hunter. You don't wanna run up. You get done up. 400. 4-way, but I'm 3-way. Yeah, shots out 18 on 2. I just wanna get that money. I just wanna get that money.